Hello, and a very warm welcome to my channel. This morning, we give you a piece of breaking news. Jessica Mulroney is helpless to heal her feelings with Meghan Markle. Last night, Daily Mail revealed devastated Jessica Mulroney has been desperately reaching out to best friend Meghan Markle in a bid to patch up their friendship, but to no avail. Sources said the Canadian socialite has been met with silence from the Duchess of Sussex and has been warned that she is unlikely to be readmitted to her inner circle. An insider said Jessica has been calling Meghan non-stop and also calling up mutual friends to try and patch up their friendship. She's devastated Meghan has turned her back on her at a time when she needs her most. But their friends have told her not to expect to hear back from Meghan because when she cuts someone off, she's done for good, just like with her family. It's ironic Jessica finds herself markled having helped Meghan climb the social ladder and now finds herself socially shunned in Canada because of her interaction with Sasha Exeter. Meghan has much to fear if her former best friend decides to tell all. Jessica knows all Meghan's secrets. Imagine dropping your best friend when she is desperately needing support purely because you don't want your own reputation tarnished. The fact is, Meghan, despite what Jessica did, your reputation is still worse than hers. Meghan is also said to have failed to get in touch with her goddaughter Ivy on her birthday last month and has told friends that Mulroney has been using her royal status to boost her own career. Friends said Mulroney is now at her wits and is considering writing a tell-all book about Meghan because she has nothing to lose. I won't buy it, but I agree that you do not drop your best friend, whose daughter is your goddaughter, so easily. When a friend does something wrong, you set them straight and make it a learning and growth opportunity, which would actually have reinforced their relationship because they'd both know that the other would truly never let them down. In the end, no one is that important to Meghan other than Meghan herself. Harry will soon find this out if he hasn't already. Being in a relationship, whether it's a friendship or a spouse, a child, it doesn't matter to a narcissist. In their book, they're number one. I guess Jessica found out the hard way. Sources have said Mulroney is not the only friend to be shown the cold shoulder. Friends in Los Angeles have told DailyMail.com that Meghan has cut off many of her old acquaintances as she prepares to reinvent herself as a public speaker. A DailyMail.com insider said the Duchess has become increasingly hard to get a hold of, amid fears that her old circle in Los Angeles can't be trusted not to speak to the media about her. The source said, Meghan has cut off most of her old friends in Los Angeles while they were so excited to see her when she came back home and were expecting to hear from her, but she hasn't reached out to anyone. Friends have tried to connect with her through Doria, but she doesn't answer her phone and the old numbers they have for Meghan don't work anymore. Lots of people are now feeling sad they've been cut off by her and are having to accept they'll never hear from her again. Indeed, a royal expert refused to reveal her name, said, Meghan's firmly in the right. Attitude when she thinks she's right and then cutting ties with friends and family when she is offended is childish, and this sort of behavior and personality is absolutely nothing to be proud of. What a poor job Doris has done. A poor role model to her son. Hopefully, Harry will see her for who she really is. High and mighty attitudes get one absolutely nowhere in the long run. Learn to be a bit more humble, accept people make mistakes, including family members, and most of all, her. Grow up, Meghan, act your age, be magnanimous, and start setting good examples to your son. Be careful he doesn't do to you what you've done to your dad. You've already burnt Harry's bridges. But a viewer said, I suppose Jessica had a very successful life before she met Meghan. That foundation should still afford her a successful life now. Jessica will lose respect from the higher echelon of friends if she writes a book. Keep your dignity, Jessica. Don't lower your standards to Meghan's level, no matter how hurt you feel at this time. Keep Meghan sweating. There are only so many people you can befriend and ditch once they have passed their usefulness, before they all turn on you. Individually, a person can brush them away, but together they will bring that person down, and if that happens, where will Meghan go? She has a long way to fall to the bottom, and will she have anything or anyone left to pick her up? More importantly, what will happen to Harry and his vulnerable mental state, and what about baby Archie? Does Meghan give it a thought to what her actions will have on anyone, because it certainly looks like she doesn't. She's destroying her own family ties, destroying Harry's family ties, and she's also piling up the number of friends she's used and pushed aside to climb a bit higher. Why is it that the royal family and the UK population has seen her for what she really is, but Harry can't? He obviously loves her deeply, but what he thought he'd married is not what the rest of the world is finding out really exists. Meanwhile, a watcher repeats, Meghan is rewriting history again. She was a nobody actress living in Toronto when she befriended the Prime Minister's daughter-in-law, who introduced her to a higher level of Toronto society than Meghan would ever have access to. She also seems to forget that she knew her for years before she met Harry. But if Meghan can dump her family, she can easily dump her goddaughter. And a fan mocked, Meghan has some serious issues. Normal people do not cut out everyone in their life at the drop of a hat. People like this are dangerous. She would do Harry the same way once she's done using him for everything that he can do for her. Jess will tell it all. Mark my words. I bet it's going to be wild beyond even what we can imagine. Great friend Meghan is that she can't forgive even once for such a good friend. She is appalling, and I hope Jessica writes a book about her. Not that I would buy it, of course. It's a waste of money. The last one wrote, do you really think she's still a friend? Markle has dropped her like a ball. Probably the reason she doesn't want the list of friends who spoke to people revealed, as she no longer wants to be tied to her. Some friend, right? And if you still think differently, do a little research to see all those who have been left in Meghan's wake. Jessica is not the first or last that will be ghosted by Megs. She wonders why she gets bad press, which has nothing to do with anything at all except her narcissistic tendencies and self-interest. We continue with another news from Daily Express. Meghan and Harry will need to completely revamp their plans to launch their new American adventure by their Megxit dream turn into damp squib after a series of problems. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry were expected to launch their new non-profit organization, Archwell, mere months after officially stepping down from their royal roles. But after rushing to Los Angeles before borders shut down, the Duke and Duchess of Sussex saw their dreams for a U.S. relaunch also halted because of the coronavirus. Royal commentator Camilla Tomini suggested Meghan and Harry will need to revamp their plans to present their project to the world next year after the outbreak turned it all into a damp squib. Speaking to This Morning, Miss Tomini said, it's stressful as well because they wanted to have this great relaunch in America, and they have their new charitable foundation, Archwell, that's named after baby Archie. For them to hit the ground running over there, and coronavirus has put a stop to all of it. We don't know when their Apple TV series with Oprah about mental health is coming out. That may have been put on hold. So it's been a bit of a damp squib, and that's not what they wanted. They are going to have to reset this in January. The royal commentator also suggested the recent decision to split the future proceeds collected by Diana, Prince of Wales Memorial Foundation, marked the final death of Nell on Harry's relationship with his brother, Prince William. She continued, in a way, as far as the charitable collaborations are concerned, the final death knell sounded on the relationship in the winding up of both of their contributions to the Diana Foundation. So the brothers previously used that as a kind of joint initiative in order to raise funds for their own charitable endeavors. Now they've said they're going to siphon the funds off separately. This is actually quite symbolic. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex announced in January they planned to take a step back from the royal life, citing the public pressure they had been subjected to since their marriage in May 2018. Meghan and Harry initially signaled their intention to keep working on behalf of the Queen, but on a scaled-down capacity to allow them more financial independence from the Crown. But following 2 rounds of discussions with Her Majesty, Prince Charles and the Duke of Cambridge, Prince Harry, and his wife agreed to a 1-year trial period with no further official engagements representing the Queen. The Duke and Duchess of Sussex spent a few weeks in Canada with their son Archie before returning to the UK for a final round of outings. The pair officially stepped down on March 31st, and immediately after moved to Los Angeles to be closer to Meghan's mother, Doria Ragland, who lives in the Los Angeles area. My news this morning has ended. How do you feel about it? Please let me know in the comment section and we'll discuss them together. Remember to like and share my video for anyone you think also likes it. And subscribe to my channel to not miss any news from the royal family members. Now, have a nice day and see you in the next videos. Bye!